Hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. It is cold as a witch's feeding utensil out here in Atlanta. I tell you what, it is cold as heck. I want to first of all say happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to everyone out there in the world. And for those of you who do not know, Martin Luther King Jr. was a civil rights era freedom fighter for African Americans and others who were fighting for our civil rights in the Jim Crow South in America, where I happen to live today. And Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, was a reverend, and he was named after his father, who was named after Martin Luther, who was one hell of a fiery person in the Lutheran Church way back when. And Dr. Martin Luther King did something that I would not have been able to do. He preached nonviolence. And he felt like Gandhi. He followed Gandhi's principles of social change through social disobedience. Social disobedience, but nonviolent. Which I think is most amazing, because if you had ever turned a dog loose on me, I'd have killed the dog and then I'd have killed you too. And that's just how I feel about it. And there were many African Americans who felt that way. People like the Black Liberation Army, and oh my goodness, I could just go on and on. People like Minister Malcolm X. But Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, won the day through his non-violent social activism. And he convinced children to walk with him, because grown folks like me were scared. A lot of people think that Dr. Martin Luther King was taken in with these wide open arms, but actually the church of old people, they sent Dr. Martin Luther King initially because they thought that he would toe the line and tell the good black folks to behave. He blew everybody away when that's not what he was about. And so they tried to put him back in a cage. They tried to stuff the genie back in the bottle. And the preachers of the organization that he represented were not happy with Dr. Martin Luther. He was a troublemaker and a rabble-rouser. But like so many things, once uncorked out of the bottle, this genie couldn't be put in the bottle. And he was killed under suspicious circumstances, shot by someone that I have never believed shot Martin Luther King. And I believe the family doesn't believe that either. But I am, it's so interesting that all of the things that he fought for, so we've slipped so many ways, we've slipped backwards so many ways. I mean, African American people. Last night I saw a video where you had a room full of young black juvenile boys. Well, not juvenile, they were probably in their early 20s. And they were all at a party, and I could discern 2 females. There could have been more. And one of the females was accused of stealing a gram of weed. So they got her in a room, and this thing is like all over Facebook. I saw it last night. I was so damn angry. If that had been my child, there would be so many dead bodies right now. They took this child in a room, this black girl, she probably in her early 20s. If you haven't seen it, and you won't probably be able to find the full video anywhere right now, because now they only show the video up until the point where they start beating the girl in the face, because Facebook and them, they rush out to take anything down that's real, anything down that would cause real social activism. They take that down, citing their their policies. Graphic violence, we got a policy against that. Now you can watch people give fellatio all day long. You can get videos of people having sex and using fists on people and animals and people. You can get the most gross stuff off Facebook all day long, but let something real happen. Oh my God, we got to pull that down. That's why you have to be so careful. They talk about fake news. Fake news is so real because all they want you to do on Facebook is focus on real stuff. This guy, I didn't see him. He's looking at me all crazy in his truck, and he don't know I'll whoop it. Have a good day. So anyway, what was that guy looking at me crazy like that for? Motioning all up in the air and stuff. Well, you better go on. So you had this thing. It was absolute. It was terrible. So they get this girl in this room. And they tell her, we believe you stolen a gram of pot from us, and what we're going to do is we're going to strip search you. And at first the girl was like, okay, fine. I mean, that's what it takes. But then they all pulled out their cameras and started videotaping. And she was like, I'm not taking my clothes off with all these damn cameras in here. Get the hell out of here. So, one girl says, you said you were going to take your clothes off. You're going to strip for these guys, and we're going to check you to see if you stole this gram. You know, I'm not a pot guy. I've never smoked pot. And I don't drink. It's not because I guess I'm a teetotaler. And the reason why is I like to eat and drink by taste. And cigarettes and alcohol never tasted good to me. So I just never did it. So I don't know how much a gram is. Well, I'm thinking a gram is like not a lot. I'm not very good with my weights, you know. But like I'm probably like I never really did great in math. I just don't. I'm not thinking a gram is a lot. How much is a gram? I mean, somebody who knows me needs to call me so I can see comments, because I can't see any comments right now. But this lady, for a gram, she was, and if you haven't seen it, you got to look up girl beaten or woman beaten and forced to strip, accused of stealing a gram of pot, or girl forced to strip at a party. It should be all over the feeds by now. And she said, no, I'm not doing it. Get the hell out of here. And the black girl, standing there trying to have some decency about herself, in a den of wolves, It's when you're a canary in a den of wolves or a fox in a den of wolves, you got a problem. Because nobody was giving a damn about that child. And all of a sudden, the girl, another girl, the one that was doing all the instigating, just starts swinging on this child without mercy. And this is where all the videos stop. The ones you can see now that Facebook hasn't taken down. The girl just starts swinging on her without mercy. Left hooks to the jaw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam, 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 bam. And starts beating this child without mercy. While everybody stands and watches. And then as this girl is screaming and howling in pain and shock and fear, this mother animal, this girl, what makes people be so vicious? This animal makes her strip at the fear of being pummeled to death, makes her strip out of her clothes in front of these men and makes her, and I saw the whole damn video, and makes her crouch to show her open vagina to prove she had not stolen this gram of marijuana and something else, a watch or something. While all these men looked and laughed and showed this video with their cell phones. And one of these idiots posted that shit on social media. I can only tell you, if this happened to my child, my daughter, and only one guy in the red stopped the beating, but that's all he stopped. What? And I think of Dr. Martin Luther King, and I think of all that he sacrificed, his life, so that other people would treat us with humanity. And we have not even evolved as a people to love and treat our own selves with humanity. Where were the men? Where were the men? Where were the men? 15 males in a room. I just don't know. I just don't know. This could never happen in my presence. I grew up. I didn't necessarily grow up in the ghetto. I can't claim that I grew up on the hard knock streets of Cabrini Greens in Chicago. But my family lived in places like that. And I had to go visit. And I would stay a summer and stuff like that. So I got my taste of the mean streets. And where I came up in Oklahoma City, definitely had some war zones there. And I did a little street gang called the Little Dragons when I was a kid. And we all practiced karate. We'd go down and we would fight at the Board of Education. It was really interesting. Back that time is when all of the Cambodians and the Laotians and the Vietnamese came over from the war. And a large concentration of them dropped into Oklahoma City. So you had the Indians, Native Americans we now call them, but back then we had the Indians, we had the goat ropers, which were cowboys, and we had the stoners, which were the kids that got high. We had the jocks, the stoners, the goat ropers, the Indians, and then of course there were a lot of Mexican kids. Everybody had their own little group, and then there was band, all the kids that played in the band. And we would have these little wars over at the Board of Education, because it had the big parking lot. You could hit it from all sides, and all the groups would get together, and the gangs would fight it out. And so our increments were nunchucks and baseball bats and chains and some knives. Never even had a gun. Remember the first time a guy pulled a gun, everybody stopped and was like, so I understand the tough streets a little bit. I just don't understand how we're raising these people to have no feelings at all. Is it the video games? Is it the video games? Is it the video games? Is it that we've desensitized our kids with these damn video games? Well, I look at a group of black, and I can't say men, males, between, I'd say, 18 and 25, and not one man stood up and said, fuck no. And I think of when I grew up, we had gangs and stuff, and I was in one, and I never participated in group harming of anyone. When I was in the Navy, I did not do that hazing bullshit. I never hazed anyone. I never tacked on anyone's crow. Never did I tack on anyone's dolphins. Tacking on, when you get a new stripe, it's an eagle. That stripe is called the eagle. We call it a crow. And sometimes people will put it on your arm and punch it. It's called tacking on a crow. Or when you would get your special warfare insignia, like your dolphins if you're a submariner, or wings if you're an Airedale, or surface warfare pin called an ESWAS pin if you are a surface warfare person, or splish if you are someone that has several of them, or a SEAL gets a trident. All these designations that you get if you're special warfare. And you would tack those on, someone would punch them on. And when I went north of the equator, or went to the equator, there's a shellback initiation. It's a hazing initiation. I was initiated, but I never initiated anyone. There's no one in this world that can say, John Bunch, Black Dragon, hazed and tortured me. I just didn't do it. It was, to me, it's bullcrap. That's why I write in my book, Prospect's Bible. Someone that's prospecting you and hazing you is not a brother. I wish to God someone would approach me with a paddle, talking about they were going to paddle my ass. I will break you in two. You're going to put your hands on me and then call you my brother. Man, you done lost your mind. I'm a grown-ass man. You going to spank me? And I'm looking at these animals punish and torture this child and laugh while she's there naked in front of them, her dignity taken over a gram of weed. She should have never had her ass over there in the first damn place. But what's wrong with the society? What's wrong with these vicious people? And you have vicious people like that in the MC. I talked about it, bullies in the MC. And they're so broken and evil. And all they want to do is bring their broke-ass misery to you. I think of all that Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, Reverend Martin Luther King sacrificed to see animals like that torture that child. And I want him to go to jail. I want that girl that beat on that child ass in prison. And I want every one of those males with no honor, no dignity, no self-respect. People who can laugh while someone's being tortured. But I wish there was some law against those people, that they would just be evaporated off the planet of Earth. Just evaporated. Like that movie Minority Report. They got you on a video, they see you acting like that, and they just hit the evaporation button. Gone. You don't deserve to be here. You're an animal. You're an animal. And I hate you. I hate you for what you did to that child. I hate you for taking her dignity. And I wish I could do something for her. I don't even know what city or what town. I'm so heartbroken by that. On the eve of the day that we represent and we celebrate someone who brought us freedom, and we keep locking ourselves up in a hell that's not caused by the other races, not caused by the man, the crabs in the barrel mentality that we put upon our own selves. And we don't call the police. I say, if you know those people, call the damn police. Get on the phone on the hotline and call now. Get these characters up out of our neighborhoods. They don't deserve freedom. And I'm pissed off. I wish I could have been there. I wish I could have been walking by. I wish I could have been walking by and looked in the window and seen such a tragedy ensue. Because I'd have come running through that door to that baby girl's aid. I'd have come running. I'd have died if I had to save her from that. She did not deserve that. She did not deserve that. I wouldn't have cared if she had stolen the gram of weed. Can somebody help me out? How much is a gram? So in any event, I didn't mean to take 23 minutes up. With that, I actually had a... This was going to be a video about something else, but I thought I just have not been able to sleep since I've seen that video, and I checked this morning. It has gone viral. They are taking it down. The only thing you're going to get to see on that video, unless you really search hard, is you're only going to get to see where she started punching that girl. But it is so short of the horror that child had to go through. When they made her strip, they pulled her hair off. You know how women are with their hair. Once they get their hair on, she pulled her hair off her head and just beat the child. And I people are so... that bitch would have had to fucking kill me had I been that child. You'd have had to kill me in that day, in that spot, to take my clothes off me or take my colors off my back. You got to be fucking kidding. And that's what I teach. You think you're going to walk up and take my colors off? Somebody going to die. Somebody. This afternoon, you don't get it that easy, bro. Anyway. Let's talk about something else. But I do want to say this. I pray to the high heavens that they can find the people that misused that child, and somebody get those people into a prison somewhere as soon as possible. Please. And those folks that watch me all over the country, somebody knows where that was. Somebody knows where that child was. Poor child. I pray for your heart. I pray for your feelings. I pray for your soul. I pray for your dignity. I know how afraid you were. I was bullied in my life. I think we all probably have been. So we know what that's like. And it's just terrible. Anyway. Did I curse? I cursed some. I'm sorry about that. Didn't mean to curse. So, another subject is how to take colors and suspend members. And a lot of this comes from stuff I see all the time. And I get people that call me all the time. They call me or they send messages to me, and so many people are hurting. So many people have been wronged, been treated wrong. And I think that's one of the things about the MC that we hate most, is that it's not as easy as it could be, or maybe even as it should be. Sometimes, because of the structure of many of our MCs, we get taken advantage of, or we get abused. And some of us are powerless to stop it. A lot of that is because you don't know your bylaws, or some of you are in clubs that don't have bylaws. And I look at the bylaws like the Bible, like it's the greatest book nobody ever reads. But they quote out of this thing, people quote out of that thing like you should believe every quote they say. People talk to me about our bylaws all the time. And they quote to me things in the bylaws that just never existed. And I crack up, I laugh. I'm like, where the hell did you get that from? No. And I'm like, where did you get that from? Well, it's in the bylaws. What page? You ever have somebody tell you something in the Bible, and you're like, well, what page is that on? What chapter? What verse? They just make it up. And sometimes if a person speaks like they know, they speak so strongly, like they know. Like you believe them because, well, you can't make it up if it's on the internet. Certainly this guy can't be making this up. He speaks so strongly about it. But in reality, it's got no more truth in it than there being a man living on the moon. So, if you haven't read your bylaws and you don't know them, then anything can happen to you, and it's your own damn fault. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. And that's in every society that there is. You're riding down the road, and all of a sudden you get pulled over, and someone gives you a ticket, and you're saying, well, what did I do? I didn't know that the speed limit was 40 miles an hour. I never saw a sign. Well, dude, the speed limit is 40, you were doing 60, and it doesn't matter that you didn't know. You're still getting this ticket. It's your duty to know. You know, in California, I used to own 5 traffic schools. One was called I Can't Drive 55. So you know how long ago that was, back when the speed limit was still 55. I Can't Drive 55 Comedy Traffic School. And in the traffic schools, we would teach people, and the way it worked is if you got a ticket in California, initially you could go to traffic school and it would erase the ticket and erase the fine. And you could go to traffic school once a year, I think, or once every 2 years. And so we made a lot of money in the traffic schools because people would get tickets. Then it changed to you would still get the fine, but it wouldn't go on your insurance because they wouldn't report it. So I would teach these traffic schools, and I would teach all the time, you know. And there's a thing called a prima facie responsibility. There's a responsibility that you have when you get in a car and drive in California. One responsibility you have is that you should know that on any street where there is no posted speed limit, that the fastest you can drive is 35 miles an hour. So that even if someone pulled you over and you were to say, there is not one darn sign anywhere on the street, it is your responsibility and your duty to know that the fastest you could be driving would be like 35 miles an hour. These responsibilities exist in everything that you do. In the motorcycle club, there's a prima facie responsibility that there are certain things you should know. Like you should know to be in a motorcycle club, you have to have a motorcycle. This is something you should know. So when you want to be the president of a motorcycle club and everybody's got a bike but you should know you're wrong. Don't get upset when somebody brings it up in the meeting. Aren't you supposed to have a motorcycle? How dare you? Come on, man. And I don't tell you all these things because I'm some great sage of knowledge. Many of the things that I hate in the MC, I've done in the MC. I tell you how not to make the mistakes I've made. How to do it better. I have seen the other side of the coin. I've seen what happens when you don't do it right. That's why I try to tell you how to do it better. You know, that's the purpose. Not because I'm some great swami or guru, but I have been able to survive the very screwed up mistakes. So, knowing the right and the wrong way to do things is of benefit to anybody that's in a group that has responsibility of making sure that the group is doing the right thing, or anyone who could have to fall under the rules of that group. I know too many people riding in motorcycle clubs that don't even know what the colors stand for on their back. How silly is that? What's the warped triangle for? I don't know. Well, why one wheel with a chain coming off of it going to a guy's hand with a knife in it? Hell, I couldn't tell you. Hey, but I'm Renegade Wood Riders forever. Forever Renegade Wood Riders. Well, you people need help. So quick to say forever, forever, forever. And you don't know the first rule in bylaw number 1. That's because it takes effort. And we are lazy as people. People are just lazy. We don't want to put forth the effort necessary to do great things. We want someone else to do it. It's okay if Black Dragon does it. It's okay. Let's just let somebody else do the very great things. All I got to do is ride and pay my dues sometimes. I'm good with that. And then something goes down and you want to cry foul. One of the worst what's the word? One of the worst offenses I see out there is how members get their colors taken and get suspended from the clubs. Looks like somebody called me. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. It's just fraught with impropriety, and it is a landscape of minds that it's just not ever done properly in most cases. So in my book, The Sergeant at Arms Bible, I write several procedures for taking people's colors and putting them on suspension. And these procedures are born from what many clubs of today use, which are called Robert's Rules of Order. And a lot of you guys profess Robert's Rules of Orders, but the Robert's Rules of Order book is like the Bible, the greatest book never read. What people quote to me out of Robert's Rules of Order, they quote out of that book and I just be listening, just be a listening. And I'm blown away at how far off so many of these peoples are. And somebody says, as our supporters come into the RC, they get a copy of bylaws and we sign a sponsor to teach protocol and how to act. We have respect for our local MC and they have been great to us. Respect. So that line respect is the first line that should be in anybody's bylaws. But I think of this Robert's Rules of Order book and I think of all the stuff, how many people have ever read Robert's Rules of Order? Most of us only know about what we've heard. We know how to motion in a meeting and how to get a meeting started. And I forward that, I second that, I move that this happens, I second it, and the ayes have it, and that's about it. Good morning, Long Beach, California. Good morning, David Muggsy. So, in the reality of this Robert's Rules of Order is an actual process. It is a book of processes, and I write all about the history of it in my book, Sergeant at Arms Bible, which I think is a great book for Sergeant at Arms, because whereas it doesn't have all of Robert's Rules of Order in it, it has the basics of where it comes from, how it works, and why it was enacted, and why so many organizations, from motorcycle clubs to the Lions, to the Kiwanis, to the Mooses, to every other kind of organization in the world uses some form of Robert's Rules of Order or some form of parliamentary procedure, which came from Great Britain, to conduct their motorcycle clubs, the business of their motorcycle clubs, and the disciplinary procedures that go on in their motorcycle clubs. Somebody said I was told as a prospect I couldn't see bylaws. In my book, Prospect's Bible, I make it very clear. If you have a motorcycle club that won't let you see bylaws as a prospect, then you need to keep stepping. I don't I don't need to wait till I'm a member to find out what I'm responsible for. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, there's got to be at some point in my prospectship before I go over that I see, number one, and number two, agree with your bylaws before I cross over. Because I'm not fixing to be a club hopper. And you might have something in your bylaws that I just absolutely don't agree with. For instance, your bylaws might say, we only take in people of a certain color. And anybody else that's not that color will never be in our motorcycle club. And I don't get to see that shit until after I'm a member? Man, get the hell out of here. You lost it. Your bylaws may say something like anyone who doesn't turn in their patch gets the patch burned off their back with fire. And I don't know about that until after I'm a member. Man, get out of here. So you should see bylaws somewhere during your prospectship, because how can you swear to the allegiance of being responsible for something that you don't even know until after you swear? That's retarded. That's not a contract. I don't even know what you call that. That's calling buying some acreage down in the swamps of Florida that you've never seen before. And I'll sell you that if that's what you want. So, anyway, when you remove someone's colors, is that just the president saying, hey man, give me your stuff? In some motorcycle clubs, yes. If that's in the bylaws, then that's okay. But in most motorcycle clubs, if you look deeply within the bylaws, there is a procedure that must occur. In our club, it's called a committee. You must get your committee. You must get your hearing in front of your bros. You must be adjudicated. You must be found guilty. There's no one individual that gets to just snatch your colors. The hell out of here. There wasn't one individual who gave you your colors. Your colors were given to you by the vote of everyone. But one king can just take them? And that's what some of these guys think they are. They think they're kings. So they do all kinds of kingly dumb shit. But what cracks me up is you guys let them. It's okay with you. And that's because it's easy to let the king do everything. That's why we let them do everything. Because it's easy. You don't have to use your mind, your time. Just let it all fall to one guy. Then you get mad at him when he does that. But there's somebody coming up to you to get your colors that's in your own club. There are some rules by which that's done. The road captain doesn't pull you over on the side of the road and say, hey man, I need to collect that. In some instances, junior officers do not remove senior officers' colors. How is the road captain going to take the VP's cut? I've seen it. In some instances, I've seen one member snatch another member's cut. By what authority do you take someone's colors? Putting someone on suspension. Selling bylaws, what is that? Someone selling bylaws? I'm missing that. Sells the bylaws. I know a club that sells the bylaws. Isn't that crap? You mean sells the bylaws to the members? Or sells the bylaws to other people? That's interesting. You know, I don't think the members should have to buy the bylaws. I think that's kind of crazy. I think that if another club came up and said, we don't have bylaws, can we see yours so we can make ours? I've seen that happen before. I imagine if you said, yeah, if you give us 250 bucks, that could be kind of shitty, but not necessarily such a terrible thing. I know a lot of clubs that have borrowed bylaws to get going, but this guy says selling bylaws to the members. Well, I never speak disparagingly about other clubs, but that is not a club I'd belong to. The bylaws are mine by right. As a member, I have a right to these bylaws. And so you can't sell me that. But now you have to think about this. If all of the voting brothers came together and said, yeah, this is a good way to fund our club and we are all okay with selling bylaws to ourselves, then hey, that's the vote of the club. And I'm all for the vote of the club. Somebody says, I'm new to motorcycling. Are there any advantages to joining a club? Are there any clubs that aren't involved in shady stuff, as they are portrayed too often? Well, you're new to motorcycling, so welcome. And yes, for me, motorcycle clubs are the only way to motorcycle. Although I never needed a club to motorcycle. I enjoy the club for brotherhood and love and affection and an extended family that I didn't get because I didn't even know I had any real brothers until I was 51 years old. But you don't need a motorcycle club for motorcycling. You need an extended club for family and brotherhood. Now, I have 250 some videos and 4 books that you can read to find out if motorcycle clubs are everything that they say we are on television and in the news. And there are about 50 channels that do what I do and other folks that have written books. So educate yourself. Do not take an answer a stranger like I would give you on a forum like this as an adjudication or a justification to do anything. Go out there and inform yourself and find out what MCs are. Go hang around one. I've got a video on about how to be a hang-around. Go look it up. Go ask one. Go hang around one and go see. Then make your decision for you. Dugout, you can't get the President's Bible yet. You can pre-order it if you want. I should have it done now that I'm moved after my fire. I should have it done. My sergeant at arms is giving me 3 weeks. So he's tired of people asking for me. So he's giving me about 3 weeks, or the fines will start coming. So there you go. Someone said, is there a package deal on the books? I can do that. Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. Hit me up and we'll figure it out. You can see I'm out of shape. These woods are kicking my butt. Haven't been here in a while. So, and the dog is damn pulling me. He's always pulling. Oh my goodness. And this is an all uphill. Now, something to stop his ass. No, it didn't stop him. I tell you what, dog. I am out on the set showing your ass. You get into a fight. you bring the club into danger, give me your cut, man. I'll see you next week in committee. Because in order to remove that cut or put you on suspension, there's got to be a club vote. In most clubs. Now, some of you guys that are in what I call non-traditional clubs, your president may have all authority. But in a traditional MC, you get a vote, even if you did do something wrong. Hey man, we're coming by to get your cut. When is my hearing? Yeah, you ain't getting shit if you don't have a hearing date. And it's just that simple. Now it's different if you agree. If you agree, yeah, I did that. All right, I'm gonna need you to turn in your cut and we're gonna keep it for the next 2 months. Okay, I'll bring it right over. Hey, that's being a stand-up guy. But if you don't agree, y'all don't get it like that, bro. It ain't that easy. We got to follow the rules. Now, how should it be done? In my book, Sergeant at Arms Bible, I write in great detail. 1, there should be a paperwork process. You should be presented with your charges in writing. Yeah. Then, there should be an investigation conducted by the Sergeant at Arms. Do we even have evidence to bring on this guy? Yeah. Then there should be an actual court where you get to confront your accusers. This sounds too much like real stuff. Where you get to confront your accusers and see the evidence presented against you. Your trial should be held by your peers. And, as in most cases, it should be held to the standard of a reasonable doubt. And it should be unanimous on serious charges. And maybe a majority on not so serious charges. But especially charges like suspension or separating you from the club for good, that should be a unanimous decision, either by all the members on that board, or after the board finds you guilty, then you go before the entire brotherhood for a decision on the suspension or removal of your colors. That's how that's supposed to work, baby. And there should be some form of appeal. There should be a form of appeal that allows the MC to decide if maybe we weren't too pissed off and maybe we made a mistake. Maybe the rules weren't followed. You should be able to present your case in front of witnesses, and you should be able to have some kind of a counsel, some type of some help, someone who knows the bylaws assigned to protect your best interests. Boy, that shit takes a lot of time. That's how it's done in the 99% world. If you don't fight and plead guilty, if you are, the club is more lenient on the offender, especially if they are normally in good standing. So we get into the nuances. Nathan is correct. The nuances are there's those guys that know they're guilty and they're going to fight the whole way. And for those of you who take up people's time inordinately and wrestle with the process the whole damn way, what should happen to you is you should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And the bros should have a good time kicking your butt out. Thank you, Hitman. I sure appreciate that. Thank you, sir. We're gonna get a mighty nice camera from you guys. Loner from old Idaho, good morning, sir, and thank you. Good morning, Dizzy. Good morning, sir. Thank you for the info on whether to decide whether to join a club or not. I hope I haven't helped you decide whether to join a club or not. What I pray that I've helped you with is to learn how to determine whether or not you want to join a club. I hope I've taught you how to find that out. You're not going to get that deer, so don't even go over there and get both of our butts kicked. Okay? He's just looking at you. Notice he ain't running. When they ain't running, they're gunning. So you continue forward. Thank you. That dog there is more trouble than he's worth. So, we get into some of the nuances. How should I fight? You know, how should I do this or that? Should I fight? I say if you know you're wrong, then do what wrong people do. Plead guilty and throw yourself on the mercy of the court. Apologize. Say you're sorry. And take your penance. Like a man, stick your chest up. You was man when you did that wrong crap. Be a man when you're taking that nasty punishment. Just the way it is. I hope your clubhouse is open for visitors because I'm riding down there to say hey this spring. When you come, you will be welcome at the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club, clubhouse. Wherever our clubhouse is, you're welcome. Wherever we are in whatever state, you're welcome. And tell them Black Dragon sent you if you go to one of my chapters that I'm not there. And you will be treated with open arms. So, took me about an hour to tell you guys all this. And some people get mad at me for that. But it's just my speaking style. So, you should have charges presented in writing. Sergeant at Arms should have done some sort of formal investigation before charges were even brought. You get a chance to face your accusers. You get the opportunity. Come on, boy, we're going this way. Come on, boy. You get a chance to face your accusers this way. That hill's too steep. You know I'm old. You get a chance to see the evidence against you. You get a chance to argue your points in court. You get a chance to be found guilty. And you have to be presented with charges that are in keeping with some law you broke in the bylaws. If it ain't in the bylaws, then they might not have anything to charge you on. They got to let you go this time, add it to the bylaws, and get the next person the next time. That's what happens. I have friends in 3 different clubs, and if I join one, I hope my friends do not get pissed off if I'm not in their club. My brother, my friend, my viewer, perhaps my subscriber, you should know that you don't join motorcycle clubs for friends. I have that. You know what? I'm going to make that video specifically called You Don't Join Motorcycle Clubs for Friends. You don't join motorcycle clubs for friends because friends don't always stay in the motorcycle club. I tell people that all the time. Black Dragon, you're so cool. I want to join your club. You don't know me. You know public persona. Well, what do you do if you don't like me after you join the club? Or what do you do if the club puts me out? You joined the club for me, now you got to go because I'm going? Well, what if you didn't do the nasty stuff I did to get put out? You joined the club for you. And your brothers that are involved in other MCs, they know that. That's why they are in their club. So if they give you any flack whatsoever, you should be looking at them with a jaundiced eye. Well, why the hell did you join your MC? Are you a true brother over there? Because I joined the MC that was right for my heart and my morals and my attitude and my swagger, and not because of you. Trying to stand a Varinians MC chapter up in my local state. Still need to get our council positions filled. Riding clubs in my area have to put in time as an RC and be graduated to MC by the dominant. Yes, that does happen. And once you graduate, and once you get the status you're looking for, it does feel great. And finally, there should be an appeal system where you can appeal to higher authority, especially like if you have a national chapter and the local chapter put down some straight BS. Sometimes you can appeal to higher authority. You can appeal up to the national, and that might work well for you. You know what I'm saying? Great thing about being out in the wild is you can take a leak where you need to, whenever you need to, and then of course your dog will take one too. You got to take a walk in the wild. It helps you be you. Okay, so any questions? I think I've covered the subject. Let's see what my people are saying. Go all the way back to the top. I'm sure that no one is here from 60 minutes ago. Dan Thompson, it's good to see you. Lock 514, Demetia Burris, Big Skinny, William Davies. I believe it's a lack of respect. Parents are not being allowed to raise their kids. And that stuff is gone. Lock 514, Damn Thompson, Roller Pig 82. Our president took a guy's colors based off of an accusation by a non-member. Yeah, that's why we put out these videos. Because our prez took a guy's color is not even how the sentence is supposed to begin. Now, I'm not saying that a president doesn't have the right to remove a vest. Sometimes they have to. But to keep it, there's a committee hearing that has to happen, bro. You got it twisted. And I know some guys, if you ain't walking up with charges and that piece of paper in your hand from the sergeant at arms, you ain't taking shit but a quick, swift ass kicking. Because a lot of these folks, they have sacrificed for these clubs. The president is not the only person putting out a sacrifice. There are people that put in money, time, effort, and they're not willing to give up their rags for some sort of socio-political nonsense, an accusation from somebody outside of the MC. That's the quickest way to get the beat down I know. Oh, I gotta get back in shape. Let's see. Got in late, we'll check out the replay, but good info. Yes, Dory. Been in since the start. Oh, someone's been in for the whole 60 minutes. Wow. Good to see you, DeLorean Lyles. Is fighting your own brother to keep your colors acceptable? No, of course not. But it will happen. I promise you that. And I've seen it. One time I saw this OG, about 53 years old, and the bros decided, the young G's decided that they were getting ready to just take his colors. They walked up on that cat with that BS, and that OG had a beard as big as mine, fluffy, all white, and that cat got to swinging like a 22-year-old. I ain't never seen nobody fight so hard. His own boys throwing haymakers. He hit them 22-year-old cat. He dropped one, just knocked him clean out. When they surrounded him, they was pounding on him. That old cat gave as he got. In an Atlanta clubhouse, I saw it was absolutely crazy. That cat got to swinging and slossing and slinging cats around. He grabbed one cat, threw him damn near through the club front door, got him all caught up in the screen, and just took advantage of him. Pop, 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 pop. He must have got hit about 20 times. He must have swung and hit he must have hit at least 8 or 9 people. He came up out of that clubhouse bruised and bloodied and tattered. Looked a mess. But those colors were still on that back. And man, I have mad respect for that OG. I don't know if he ever got the situation fixed. I know he still got those colors. I know that. Clubs can change. Politics change. But if you're a new guy looking to take down an old guy, I would tell you this. You have no idea. You think you have done so much sacrificing. You have no idea what that OG sacrificed over the last 20 years. Today might not be his finest hour. But there was a day he was knocking down bridges, climbing mountains, and building stone walls just like you are now. Somebody says taking a path without violence is so street gangish. Man, the world is street gangish. Getting out of a car pissed off at somebody for cutting you off is street gangish. Doesn't stop people from doing it. Slapping your kid in the mouth when they say something to piss you off. That ain't right. My mother almost slapped my teeth out of my whole mouth many times. Everybody always wants to throw this moniker of street gangs on bike clubs. We have physical altercations just like anybody else. Doesn't make us a street gang. It makes it a couple guys don't agree. And where you have men with testosterone, hell, an all-out brawl on the basketball court is street gangish. Both sides clearing the bench at a baseball game is street thuggish. We don't call them thugs. We say, there was a wild one. Holy moly. You had to pick this, huh? All right, let's climb it. So, you know, you don't plan for it to be violent. You just came to get the colors. And the OG started swinging on your ass. Because he was a member when you were 9 years old. And here you are at 32, telling him you're going to take his colors. Where were you in 1975 when they stood against the Los Woodplankers, MC, who tried to run them out of Dodge? And they got 2 brothers killed trying to save the club. You were a thought in your mama's womb. And now 24 years later, you're gonna come take my colors? Why don't you take this left hook and these steel-toe boots? Come on, Black Dragon, lose those pounds. I'm with you. I don't know how many pounds. I just know I'm tired. And today, he picked a rugged ascent. I want to cry. Lean forward and get those legs under you. Yeah, I think I knew that. Man, I feel lazy now seeing Black Dragon do all the work. It'll be over soon. I promise. I'm glad they got these places to sit down along the trail. They must have been thinking about me when they made them. And oh, Mr. Pep in the step here is just moving on. No pain, no gain. There's no guarantee of that. There's no guarantee that pain means gain. I don't see 1 pound falling off. But I feel a lot of pain. And I got one more hill before I can get out of this damn place. Holy moly. Somebody said they're gonna have to take a break from pretending to work. So, there's my last hill. I can see it now. Then you got those jerks that run through here. Saw some woman running the other day. She just ran up that hill. Whoop, 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 whoop. She's about my age, too. I sent her a little message of hate behind her. I was hoping she could feel it. Braveheart is walking real good. Pep in a step. Never would have thought he was busted up. They were trying to take my dog's leg, man. And I just couldn't do it. I had to give him a chance on his leg. And I'm glad I did. Don't hate Black Dragon. Yeah, Braveheart is about 110%, it seems. And you guys have been with me. You saw me the day I found this mutt. And he's become part of the family. Okay, so we're going to do this last hill. And we're done with our Get Skinny for the day. Next it's diet, 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 diet. Today is all water, no soda, no soft drinks, mineral water, and no carbs. This is a no carb day. And we're just going to do the best we can. Good morning, P36. Good morning to you, sir. Black Sabbath forever, forever Black Sabbath. What kind of diet are you eating? I just eat baked, broiled, boiled, grilled, or steamed meat and seafood. And I eat vegetables, nuts, berries, fruits, and legumes and beans. No pasta, no rice, no bread, and no potatoes. No milk, and no cheese. No carbs for 7 days really helps. I did no carbs for 6 months and lost 60 pounds in 6 months. 10 pounds a month. When are you doing the giveaway? Probably in about a week. Maybe a week and a half. I want to give people some time to do the research. I've had a few come in and nail every question. And I was blown away because I thought I had a few hard questions. Somebody said I just started crying. All the things that I eat. That's if you want to get skinny with me, that's how we're doing it. Because I can't be breathing hard just walking up a hill. That's not going to make it. My legs hurt, my back hurts, my knees hurt, my butt hurts. And I'm only 54. It only gets worse. So, I'm gonna lose weight again for the 3rd time. Don't get carbs from processed sugar, someone said. Refined foods, that kind of thing. You can get them from fruits, raw sugar, 100% whole wheat, and grain breads. Some people know more than I do about that. Call me when you get rested. Who said that? Hey, Mikey. I'll call you as soon as I get in the truck. Somebody told me I crossed the line with the no beer comment. We're not gonna do you like that, bro. Come on with us and get skinny. We'll let you have some beer. Look, I made it up the hill. I made it up the hill! So there. Somebody says this is their 2nd time to get back down to 200. As you guys know, I lost 100, gained 60, lost that 60, and now I've gained 65. This is my 3rd time back down the hill. I know how to lose weight. I've done it before. I'm getting ready to do it again for the 3rd time. Mikey says, Mikey 1%er is talking about beer, y'all. I ain't doing it. So, I appreciate you guys. This was a long one. This was over an hour, so I'm going to get a lot of hate mail on this one. Hour and 20 minutes, I'm going to get a lot of hate mail. I love you all. Appreciate you. I'm done with my walk. Hope you got something out of this video. I appreciate those of you who have, I didn't see everybody. I was walking. I did not see everybody that sent me money this morning. I thank you for that. You guys know I'm trying to advance the channel with whatever you guys send me. Trying to get a better video system, and also I want a drone. The way you can support the channel is through Super Chat, which you've seen some folks do whenever I'm live. Send me a couple bucks. Definitely appreciate it. You guys can also support my Patreon, which is Black Dragon NP at Patreon. Patreon is a place where you can donate on a recurring basis. $2 a month, $5, $10 a month, whatever the case may be, to help the channel. That's what the Patreon is for. You're like the channel's Patreon. Anyone who donates $25 or more will get the Black Sabbath. We'll get the Black Sabbath. Not the Black Sabbath. We'll get the Wii shirts, and I think you'll get a Wii shirt and a Wii hoodie, something like that. It's on the Patreon. Come here, man. You're so bad. Also, you can buy the books. That supports the channel. The books are available on Amazon. Prospects Bible for Women's Motorcycle Clubs, the Public Relations Officer's Bible, and the Sergeant at Arms Bible. President at Arms Bible is almost out. I'll still pre-sell those, even though I had said I would shut that off. I'll pre-sell those until the day I put them out. The book is going to be $30. You can buy it for $15. I've got all kinds of links to how to get a hold of me. Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. jbunchii on Instagram. jbunchii on Snapchat. jbunchii on Marco Polo. jbunchii on Twitter. Black Dragon Biker on Facebook, and my Facebook page. It's kind of like a magazine called MC Talk TV, and I've got several writers on there, including Mikey 1%er, OG Miklo, and Diablo. And I think we're going to get our first woman writer. Get up there. And so those are all the places to go. And some people are saying they want to buy some books on books in bulk. And we can certainly do that. Send me something to Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. And Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. And I will try to get a deal for you if you're going to buy books in bulk. Somebody said I don't do Facebook. That's good for you. So it's good to talk to you guys, and I'm tired. You guys get skinny. I'm tired. I'm done. Great stuff coming up on the new year. And hell, it's really awesome I have so many of you guys on with me. I had 80-some people on here. I got 64 people right now. It's really awesome. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for helping me get to 10,000 subscribers. And we're getting ready for the Cold Ash Run for anyone who wants to come with us. And I guess that's it. Get skinny.